Let's chat about front hall design. But I'd love it if you'd first think about a front hall that had a particular impact on you. What was it about it that caught your attention? Maybe it was an architectural detail, maybe it was the wallpaper. Whatever it was, it stuck in your mind. Next, I'd love for you to think about your own front hall. What is it saying? Why did you create it the way you did? Let's keep that frame of mind as we explore the design idea behind this particular front hall, what we were thinking about it, and how it all came together. Here's some images of the front hall and what it looked like before, some of the challenges I'll point out, and some of the beautiful architectural details. Now let's talk about some of the challenges we had with the space. So as you can see back here, we have a soffit that runs front to back. We also are dealing with an extremely narrow hallway. And how are we going to make that work in terms of design so that it appeared wider and more spacious? We also had to deal with junction boxes, and you can see and how to camouflage them. And right here you can see set behind a tree. Still another obstacle, which all homes have, it just depends on where they're located. We actually have our thermostat and our alarm system. And this is where they could sit. The next obstacle are these doors. Let's see if we can get a better shot of those. So these doors, this one goes to the basement, and this one is the powder room. So being able to have a flow back and forth in a sort of a higher traffic area. So that was an obstacle. And I would say that those were the biggest obstacles we had to overcome in the front hall. Now let's go on and talk about some of the beautiful architectural elements that help to take the eye away or move the attention away from some of the obstacles. The key architectural detail in this front hallway is the fan light. Of course, fan lights are quintessential Federal period design, so it's absolutely beautiful no matter what time of day, and it really does add to the overall ambiance of this space, which makes it so gorgeous, and my favorite, actually, aspect of the house. Next, we have our staircase, and this staircase is really beautiful. The banister is a solid piece of mahogany, and the newel post is absolutely gorgeous as well. And you can see it creates quite a view up those stairs. When thinking about lighting for our front hall, of course we wanted to highlight the history of the home. So I wanted to get some brass Baroque style chandeliers, and I was lucky enough to be able to source this one from my friend Allie. And it is classic in its design, and the proportions are absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to take you down to see a close-up of the beautiful scroll work and intricate detail of this piece. See if we can't go around it a little bit for you. The second chandelier, also Baroque style, is a little bit smaller than the one that's in the front, but nevertheless, it is equally lovely. And again, although a little subtler in design, it too shows all the beautiful craftsmanship. Now here we have a beautiful pair of Federal period sconces. And what's great about them is you can see the gorgeous brass work done here. And you can just imagine before they were electrified what that candle would look like flickering. They also have gorgeous, and as it turns out, quite functional backplates, which served as a way to cover the junction box holes, which were a little bit larger than we had hoped for. So lovely and happy for getting those. The one piece of furniture that we actually acquired here in Hudson at Sutter, a great antique shop here, is this beautiful William IV, circa 1840 console table. And it works beautifully because when we open the door to the basement or the door to the powder room, it clears that beautiful console. Now, if we can only find a pair of diminutive shield-back chairs, we'll be all set. When we're thinking about the front hall mural, we had to be thinking about the history of this home and tying it to one of the founding families that lived here, the Worths, and to their son, William Jenkins Worth. And we'll talk a little bit more about them in an upcoming video. But it's not just about the space here at the General Worth House. It's about your space and how you're welcoming people into your home. So all of the design elements here are part of how we are welcoming you into our home. So with that, we'll go on to the mural and talk about how it completes and anchors the rest of the space in the front hall. So this mural really is what brings this entire space together. It not only helps with some of the challenges we had in the front hall, like this soffit, right? It sort of melts into the skyline. Also, the junction box that we talked about earlier, how that has disappeared. It also tells the story of the home, the Hudson River Valley, and our personal history. Now, I'm a huge fan of Rufus Porter and itinerant painters, so it gave me the perfect excuse to have someone paint it in the manner of Rufus Porter, who was, of course, an itinerant painter during this period. And we will talk about him in a future video. But it has been beautifully executed. I couldn't ask for something more wonderfully done than the muralist who created it. And we'll meet her in an upcoming video. So onward, and let's talk about the different elements in this mural. The first element I want to talk about is the depiction of our home. While this is a very accurate view of what our house looks like, including that family that I love so much, it's actually stylized because it's set in the landscape. And so this is a stylized view of the Hudson River and the feel of the Hudson River Valley that is evoked in this mural overall. But in reality, our house sits on a street here in Hudson that is historic and is buttressed by other homes on the street. So that's a little bit of a tweak that we took some artistic license with. Another element is the Hudson Athens Lighthouse, which served as the beacon to boats that were traveling up and down the Hudson River. So again, we will be chatting about that in another video. This depiction of Olana is really quite near and dear to my heart. I am a huge fan of Moorish architecture, and you will see elements that have been taken from Olana itself. And really, it couldn't be a real view of the tide of the Hudson River Valley without Olana, which sits atop of this area looking down. And of course, Frederick Church, the famous painter and head of the Hudson River School, lived there. And this really is something that is also a very, very important piece of the history of this area. Another personal depiction in this mural is a homestead that has ties to our family, and it absolutely evokes some kind of emotion for me. Another image that's been included in this mural is, you see this pair of cardinals. Now, cardinals mate for life. So as birds, they're monogamous. The only time that they will go on to another partner is if one passes away. What's been interesting for us is that in every home we've lived, for whatever reason, we've had cardinals sitting right with us. A surprise that was included, and I have to credit our muralist for this, is a little depiction of our dog Malcolm. It sits right to the left of the back door where he comes and goes, and he always is watching down the hall. So this is yet another little personal nod to our family. Thanks for joining me and our tour of how this front hall space was designed. And I'm hoping it's helping you feel inspired about how to marry your personal history with the history of your home, so that your family can enjoy it as well as future generations. On our next video, we're going to talk to Susan Leach, who is absolutely wonderful and helped collaborate with me to bring this space to life. So please follow along, subscribe, and tap that bell, and you'll be notified when the mural chat is up. Hope to see you soon.